Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Tuesday, January 9th. We do have a short slate today, just 4 games. That doesn't mean there isn't money to be made. Still going to be plenty of contests out there, still money to win. So let's go ahead and look at point guard today on this 4-game slate. Up top today, we do have Russell Westbrook at point guard. He's leading pretty much all studs on this slate. You just look at the player pool. It's Westbrook up top at 11.5, and then 3K cheaper is our next most expensive guy, and that is Aaron Gordon at 8,600. So Westbrook, definitely a guy we have to consider paying up for today. I really don't see how you don't play him, at least in cash. There's not really someone you could pivot to. I guess you could not play Westbrook and then make sort of a balanced lineup and play a lot of these 8K, 7K guys. But I do have a feeling a value is going to open up today. The Kings are on a back-to-back, and that could lean to guys like Zach Randolph, George Hill. Some of those guys may be resting or being out. I know Hill has missed the last few games. He just hasn't played at all. So we could be looking at the Kings today for value. I am recording this on Monday night, and the Kings game has not started yet, but they are on a back-to-back. Could rest some guys. Could open up value. And I think it's going to be pretty easy to fit in Westbrook, even if the Kings don't rest players. So Russell Westbrook, definitely play him on this slate, at least in cash games. In tournaments, you can fade him and build sort of a balanced lineup. But I do have a feeling Westbrook's going to be pretty popular today. So you're going to have a contrarian build if you don't play him. You do have guys that you could go to that are cheaper. CJ McCollum, without Damian Lillard, a guy we definitely have to consider. Not the best matchup against OKC. I have a feeling he's going to see defense from Paul George. And that is not the best matchup. George is a solid defender. But with no Damian Lillard, we know how much of a usage monster CJ McCollum's going to be. He's going to take a ton of shots. Going to be relied on a lot for scoring. And just $7,500, that is a fair price tag for him with Lillard out. So you can pivot off of Westbrook and go down to someone like CJ McCollum. You also do have Lonzo Ball there for $200 less than McCollum at $7,300. I think those are the two pivots I like off of Westbrook. I doubt I'm going to be on Elfrid Payton today. Kyle Lowry's kind of in a tough spot against Miami, and I don't know if I want to pay $6,700 for Dragic. So if you're going to get off of Westbrook, my two favorite options for cheaper are definitely McCollum and Lonzo Ball. But looking maybe for value plays at point guard, I think there's some good value here. First guy definitely that stands out, one of the best value plays on this slate in my opinion, Shabazz Napier, just $5,400 going up against OKC. With Lillard already ruled out, I believe he was ruled out before or after the pricing was already set, so DraftKings didn't adjust the pricing really. $5,400 I think's still too cheap for Shabazz with Lillard out. We were considering playing him when he was like almost 6K. At $5,400, Shabazz is going to get plenty of minutes to where he can pay off this price tag. So him and Westbrook are going to be two really popular guys on this slate. For cash games, I think those are guys you're locking in today. You can play Shabazz at shooting guard if you want to do that. So he is a value play that really stands out to me. You do have other contrarian options you can go to, like De'Aaron Fox. Could be a play against Lonzo Ball against the Lakers. That's a good matchup, up and pace game. But I think the most optimal play in that price range is definitely Shabazz Napier, $5,400. He's the value point guard that really stands out to me today. And that's really it for value at point guard. Just don't see a lot of options here that are cheap that I really want to go to. Then his position's pretty straightforward. I think you play Westbrook. You play Napier if you want to play him as shooting guard. I think he's going to be a popular option. Your tournament plays today are definitely like well, you could play CJ in cash if you find enough salary. But if you're playing Westbrook in cash, which is something I recommend, it's probably going to be hard to play Westbrook and someone like CJ McCollum. So the tournament plays are definitely McCollum and Ball. Westbrook, Shabazz Napier, the two options really like at point guard. So moving on to shooting guard, and looking at this position, you do have DeMar DeRozan at $8,300 today, who you could make an argument for if you want to pivot off of Westbrook and play someone like DeRozan. He has shown upside lately. You look at his game log, his last 4 games has 56 in there against the Bulls, 75 against Milwaukee. But you're definitely not fading Westbrook in cash for DeRozan. This is really only a tournament play in my opinion. DeRozan's usually a guy who's scoring dependent. If he's not scoring like 30-plus real-life points, it's really going to be hard for him to pay off value. But lately, he has been racking up some assists, been getting rebounds, which has contributed to the fantasy scoring. So if you want to pivot off of Westbrook in tournaments and go to DeMar DeRozan, I think that does make sense if you're looking to make a contrarian lineup. But if I'm making one lineup today, putting it in like 50-50s and double-ups, it's definitely not going to have DeRozan in it unless we just get a ton of value and I can fit him and Westbrook in. So looking at other shooting guard options we could go to, I just don't really like a lot of these options in this mid-tier besides like CJ McCollum. I don't think Ingram's the guy I'm really forcing in today. Same with Dennis Smith, same with like Josh Richardson. I don't think these are guys I'm really forcing in. I think Wesley Matthews could be maybe a value play if you want to go to him at $5,400. I know he's been playing really well lately. Good matchup against the Magic, fast-paced game. Matthews has been consistent lately, putting up 22, 36, 37, 22 DraftKings points his last 4 games. Now that the price is up to 5,400, you're going to need, I would say, at least about 26, 27 DK points from Wes Matthews. He can get there. You could go to him as a value play as shooting guard. Obviously, Shabazz Napier is the much better play at the same price tag. But if you already have Napier in your lineup and you're looking for another value play, you could go to Wesley Matthews at the same price tag. Trying to find value at shooting guard, I think there's a value play sub 5K we could go to today. Buddy Hield against the Lakers, really good spot for Buddy Hield, really good tempo in this game. Going up against a Lakers team that plays at a fast pace, that does favor Buddy Hield's just this type of game. He's scoring dependent. And in a game against the Lakers that should set up well for Buddy Hield, should set up well for him, especially if the Kings do decide to rest some players today since they're on a back-to-back. Buddy Hield could be looking at 30-plus minutes, and at just 4,700 against the Lakers, if he's going to play 30-plus minutes, he could have a really nice game today. I think he's a good value play. You can play him at shooting guard or small forward. Like him as a cheap option at 4,700 if you want to go cheap at shooting guard. But that's really it for this position, at least the options I really see. I can already tell you guys it's going to be a quick video, just not a lot of plays I'm absolutely in love with on this slate. I feel like this slate's going to be pretty straightforward. You're going to be playing Westbrook. You're going to be playing guys like Shabazz Napier, the optimal plays. And then maybe if value opens up as the day goes on Wednesday, maybe some value from the Kings open up, we'll be plugging those guys in. But right now, guys like Brandon Ingram, Josh Richardson, Dennis Smith Jr., I don't think these are guys I'm really forcing in if I'm making one lineup today. I just don't think they're guys that really catch my eye as being great plays today. So go ahead and moving on to small forward. Do have a sort of an expensive option here. Like I said, our most expensive guy off of Westbrook today is Aaron Gordon at 8,600. Not going to be playing Aaron Gordon today. I highly doubt it. Just because he's 8,600, that's a really high price tag. I think I'd actually prefer DeRozan over him if we're just talking about the two. DeRozan is 300 cheaper, and I feel like DeRozan has a little bit more upside than Gordon. So I doubt I'll be paying up for Aaron Gordon on the slate. I think he's a really good tournament play because I feel like nobody's gonna play him at this price tag. There's a good chance Aaron Gordon's like 10% owned, or maybe even less than that. So in tournaments, if you want to get off of Westbrook and play Aaron Gordon, you could definitely do that, but not something I really want to do, especially in cash games. So looking at other small forwards, you could go to Paul George at 7,800 in tournaments. I don't think he's a guy we're going to be playing in cash games just because I don't think we're going to be able to fit him in, especially if we're playing Westbrook. But George has been playing pretty well lately. He has been consistent. His last 4 games putting up 36, 37, 46, and 37 DraftKings points. It's going to be hard for him to return tournament value on this price. I would say you need at least 45, 46. If you're playing him in tournaments, that's about what you want from Paul George. Going to be hard to do that. But if you play him in tournaments and Westbrook fails, if you get off of Westbrook in tournaments and you play Paul George, Westbrook has a bad night, he just has an off night, and George goes off, that could really pay well in tournaments. But it is risky. I feel like Westbrook's just such a clear play today. You do have a really good cash play in that price tag in Harrison Barnes, 7K. If you want to play him today, going up against the Magic, this is a great matchup. Barnes always a good cash play. The guy's so consistent, plays nice minutes every night, mid-30s, if not more than that, every night in minutes. Production, very consistent, 35, 32, 39, 38 DraftKings points. Up and pace spot for the Mavericks going up against Orlando, a team that does play at a fast pace. Like Harrison Barnes in cash today, if you can fit him in with Westbrook, I think he's a really good option at 7K. If you need some savings in cash, you don't want to play Barnes or you don't have the salary, I think you could go down to maybe Carmelo Anthony. Melo's actually been pretty consistent lately. At 6,300, that's a nice price. You only need about 30, 31 DK points from him to really return value on this price. Melo could definitely do that. He's put up 29, 33, 31, 25 DK points his last 4 games. And on the year, Melo is averaging 30 DK points. So I like Barnes as a cash play, but if you need the savings in cash, you don't want to play Barnes, you could go down to Carmelo Anthony. Kuzma seems cheap today, but he's really been inconsistent lately. If we look in his last 4 games, 9, 26, 10, and 26 DraftKings points, the minutes have kind of been trending down for Kuzma, which really scares me. Don't know if I want to go there. Really risky play. Melo, a much safer option in my opinion, for 100 more than Kuzma. And if we're trying to find value at small forward, you need to save salary here. You got Wes Matthews, who I talked about. He's small forward eligible. You got Buddy Hield, who could be a really good value play. Even Bogdanovich at the same price tag if the Kings decide to rest some players today. Bogdanovich could be a value play we look to go to. That's really what I'm seeing as small forward, though, if we're talking about value plays. At least the options that really stand out to me. I know Terrance Ferguson has been starting lately for Andre Roberson. I know he did have one nice game, but that was really it. If you just look after that nice game against the Lakers, He did play 31 minutes the game after that, but only put up 16 DK points, and only played 18 minutes against Phoenix, 10 DK points, so I don't think we really need to go there. Even if Ferguson starts again for Andre Roberson, I don't think we need to go to him at 3,500. So that's really it for small forward. So let's go ahead and look at power forwards today. You got a lot of players here who I've already mentioned, so I'll try and skip over those guys. Talk about the guys I haven't talked about yet. For tournaments today, if the Kings decide to rest like Zach Randolph, Willie Cauley-Stein could be a great option if Randolph does not play today. Great matchup against the Lakers. We know Willie Cauley-Stein has a ton of upside, and when Randolph is out, WCS usually plays close to 30 minutes, if not more than that. He could crush value on this price tag, especially given the matchup. So in tournaments today, even if Zach Randolph is ruled out, we could go to Willie Cauley-Stein in cash games if we get the news before lock that Randolph somehow rests today. Then WCS might just be an all-around good play in both formats. I like him as a mid-tier option if you want to play him at power forward or center. Do have some good plays that are cheaper that you could go to. Julius Randle pretty much secured his spot in the starting lineup. Even with Brook Lopez returning, Randle has still been starting at center. He's been pretty consistent besides that one game against OKC. 33, 18, 30, 33 DraftKings points. Good matchup against the Kings. Bad team at defending bigs. WCS is a much preferred option for me, especially if Randolph does not play and he rests today. But if you need the savings off of Willie Cauley-Stein, you could go down to Julius Randle at 6,100, who has been pretty consistent since he moved into the starting lineup. You also got Kelly Olynyk, that's cheaper than Randle. He could be a really good option at 5,700. Even with Whiteside starting, Olynyk still seen very consistent minutes his last 4 games, playing 30, 36, 35, and 32 minutes. Has had some really nice games in there. 31 against Orlando, 31 against the Knicks, 47 against Detroit. So Kelly Olynyk at 5,700 is sort of a cheaper play you can go to at power forward or center. I like him as a value option at this position. And then looking for value at power forward, going right back to the Kings, if Zach Randolph rests today, since they're on a back-to-back, that could open up SKAL LABISSIE as that value option at 4,400. Great matchup against the Lakers. If we get the news before lock, some guys are going to rest. And I think going to SKAL as a value play definitely does make sense today, just given his price tag and the matchup. But like I said, guys, I'm recording this on Monday night. This is just me assuming. I have a feeling the Kings are going to rest players, but maybe they won't. But they are on a back-to-back. They're playing a late game on Monday night against the Spurs. So could be looking at guys resting today for the Kings. But yeah, I think that's it for power forward. I think SKAL's the really cheap option I see here if Randolph rests. So moving on to center. And looking at center today, we've got Whiteside as our most expensive option at this position. I don't think I'm going to be going to Whiteside today. Just hasn't been producing like I want him to. I've been on him lately, the last few games, and the minutes have just not been there. I'm not going to be playing Whiteside until I see the minutes get up to like over 30 or close to that. Did play 29 minutes against Orlando. Did play 26 minutes against Utah, but I still want to see 30+ minutes from Whiteside, especially if I'm going to be playing, or if I'm going to be paying $7K for him. So just not a center option I'm looking to pay up for today. Like I said back at power forward, I love Willie Cauley-Stein today if Randolph rests. You got Steven Adams for 200 less than Willie Cauley-Stein, but I don't think I'm going to Adams today. I think if I'm going to this price range at center, WCS is the option I like, or going to Julius Randle. Those are the two guys that really stand out to me. If I'm not playing those two guys, probably just look to go cheap here. Play a guy like Jonas Valanciunas. Always a good tournament option in my opinion. When this guy gets minutes, he could absolutely crush. He's going to be going up against Whiteside today. Whiteside, although he hasn't been playing heavy minutes, he's still been playing like 25, 26, 27 minutes. And they're going to need a big body to go up against Whiteside, which could lean to Valanciunas playing mid-20s in minutes. And I've said this before, if Valanciunas is going to play mid-20s in minutes, he's a guy that I definitely want to play. Just has so much upside, put up 41 DK points in only 17 minutes against the Bucks. Love Valanciunas as a tournament option if you're looking to go cheap at center. I think he's a really good play at 5,100. You got SKAL as a cheap play. If Zach Randolph rests, he could be a value at center. If you want to play him at center, 4,400. That's really it for center, guys. I think that's really it for this video. Just not a lot of plays I really like today. They really stand out to me. I think it's going to be a pretty clear slate, especially if we get Kings value and a lot of their guys rest. I feel like you're going to be playing Westbrook. You're going to play Napier. Just mix in some of those value plays from the Kings if we do get them. I feel like that's going to be the pretty popular route to take today. Definitely not the best slate. This is a pretty gross slate in my opinion. Just a lot of boring games. But like I said at the beginning, there's still money out there. Still money to be made. Definitely going to be grinding this slate. But yeah, guys, I hope you did enjoy. Hopefully this video helped you. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button if you have not already. Make sure you subscribe as well if you have not already. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GO. Give me a follow there, or just leave your question down in the comments section. I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck tonight. Peace.